to share about their college admission process and being current college students.
I'd like to introduce our alumni panel, our distinguished alumni panel. Thank you for coming and participating today and tonight with your parents. First, I'd like to introduce Jen Rakusin, graduated from York in 2017. She is majoring in film television with a minor in journalism at Boston University. She works on a show for BU's student-run television station, BU TV 10, and she's held various positions for the student newspaper and the Daily Free Press.
And
Let's welcome.
And next we have Andrew Simpson. He's a class of 2019 graduate, so I'm sure many of you recognize. And he's attending his first year at Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles, where he's a psychology major. He's been involved in a few clubs, including the Queer Film Club, ASL Club. He's been doing hip-hop cardio classes, was recently cast in the school's musical, and works for a student activities organization on campus.
Next, we have Alyssa Pompeian, graduated from York in 2017 and is a senior at Arizona State University in Barrett, the Honors College. She is a nursing major and will be receiving a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, her BSN. She is finishing her degree in August of 2020 and plans to pursue pediatrics or critical care. On campus, she serves as an ambassador for both the Edson College of Nursing and Barrett, the Honors College. She played on the college tennis team, the club tennis team, and participated in Greek life. Welcome.
And next, we have Max Burke, who's also a class of 2019 graduate, currently attending Skidmore College in Saratoga Springs, New York. He's undecided for his major, but interested in finance, philosophy, and history, and also participates in a pickup soccer club as well.
So the way the presentation is going to work, we have a series of questions we're going to ask the panelists. The first couple, each one will respond to with their answer. And then after that, as we ask the questions, whoever feels like responding can just, like popcorn, just pop up their hand and answer that question. And then we'll open it up to the student body to answer further questions that we're curious about. So to kick it off, for each of you, please answer, share one or two things that you miss most about York.
I can start. So a couple of things I miss about York are the campus. I go to school at Boston University, and the campus is kind of spread out in the city a little bit. So I miss our sunny hilltop. I miss. One thing that's really great about York is how many opportunities you can have with relatively little experience. So even if you haven't done theater before, you can be in the school musical, or you can do any sport. And there's been a little less of that as I've gone into college. There are still a ton of opportunities, but York is great for providing those opportunities too.
I also miss the campus because, I miss Mr. Daniel. I miss the campus because walking to class is so easy here. And then in college you have to go across campus and everything like that, but that's fine. I also really miss the small class sizes and how you know everyone at the school because it's really easy to make friends here, whereas in college you're really a small fish in a huge pond. Yeah, I miss that.
Okay, I definitely miss the relationship I had with all of my teachers. So I go to probably one of the biggest schools in the United States, And when you go to a class every single day, the teachers, they know you, you introduce yourself, but chances are they forget you 10 minutes later. So I just miss, walking on campus and saying hey, and then it's that that's reciprocalness that you have with the teachers, because you have to make the effort, to take time out of your day and go to their office hours. And then if they're not there, you have to wait, and then there's other people, and it's just, I miss that a lot. So I miss all of my teachers, and I also miss, I miss that everything at York, since it was so small and condensed and on the sunny hilltop, it was really easy, just to go to an assembly, go to a club meeting. So I have a lot of different campuses, and it just takes more effort to go to meetings and be more involved. So you definitely have to make that effort to meet people, to go out of your own way and take that time out of your day. So I just miss, I think, the welcomingness of all the clubs on campus and just how easy it was to be involved and making friends.
I really miss that word that Chuck Harmon used all the time. It begins with a C. It's community. I do miss how this is such a small school and that everybody's connected with each other in some way or fashion, and that close bond that we all kind of share when we're here. But what I really, really miss is that upper field soccer field. I have a turf field right now, and just artificial grass is just not it. I just love having that view from up there, like all the scenery. Yeah.
So can each of you remind us what college you attend, your major or areas that you're interested in studying, and why you chose that school over any others you were applying to?
So I go to Boston University's College of Communication. I'm majoring in film and television and minoring in journalism. And I ultimately chose BU because I didn't really have any film experience when I was applying to colleges. And BU was one of the few colleges that had a program where you could go in and study film production, actually making movies, not just film studies, talking about movies, where you could actually go in and learn film production without having to have any prior experience or portfolio or anything like that. So it's been a really good program.
I go to Loyola Marymount University, or LMU. It's in LA. I love it. I'm part of their liberal arts college studying psychology, and hopefully next year I'll be able to double major in theater, and so I'll audition next semester. And the reason I chose this school, I was really debating between this and Syracuse University, but I would personally be so sad living in the snow for most of my college experience. So I was like, ooh, LA sun. So that's ultimately why I chose that, because they're really equal. Yeah.
So I attend Arizona State University in Barrett the Honors College, and I'm getting my Bachelor of Science in Nursing. I'm actually finishing my nursing curriculum in August 2020. I'll be completely done. So I was accepted into this accelerated program for nursing, so I am actually graduating college in 3 years as opposed to 4, which is really cool, especially when you're nursing and it's just very stressful, and I'd love it to end early. So the reason why I chose Arizona State is because I was all about looking at the program. I was very passionate about nursing, and I knew I wanted to study it, so all I did was research a bunch of colleges that had direct entry nursing programs. So for me, it was between Northeastern University, which is in Boston, which also had a direct entry program, and Arizona State University, which had not only the direct entry nursing program, but Barrett the Honors College, it reminds me of kind of like a York school. It's a smaller college within the college, so you just have a little more priorities with class registration and opportunities and internships if you get into Barrett the Honors College. So Arizona State happened to be ranked higher than Northeastern, and so I just kind of took that into consideration, and I visited the school, and it's that feeling you get on campus. I felt so welcomed at Arizona State University. I loved the people. They wanted me. I wanted to go there. I loved the environment. I loved the program. I loved they're just the way it was formatted and how I was going to graduate and what I was going to end up with. And when I visited Northeastern, I just didn't get that feeling. I just didn't love it in Boston. Maybe I'll move there later, but I just didn't love it. And it's that feeling you get when I came to York and I visited. It was that same feeling of just that happiness and joy you get and how everyone wanted you to be there. So that's why I chose Arizona.
Okay. I'm at Skidmore, which is upstate New York, and I'm currently undecided for my major. I'm not going to worry about that till later. But why I chose Skidmore was because I grew up on the East Coast. I got family there. The East Coast is clearly better than the West. I had to say that. Just had to say that. Yeah, no, but I miss the weather and just the atmosphere, just the seasons changing. It's something that's truly breathtaking and beautiful, and being able, because I can go to New York City all the time if I want to. It's just being close to that city and whatnot. It's just super cool.
Thank you. So now, it doesn't have to be everybody in your spot, but whoever feels like it. If you could give York students one piece of advice to help them find the right fit for college, or better prepare them for the college application process, what would that advice be?
Okay. So I would say while applying to colleges, and especially when you're waiting for your replies and everything like that, don't stress about I need to get into every single college. I need to find the college that's perfect for me, because no matter where you go, you're going to love it. You're applying to those schools for a reason. It's because somehow you were drawn to those colleges, and so no matter what, you're going to love where you go, and you really have to be open about it. I completely forgot the last part I was going to say, but I'll come back to me.
My advice is do your research. If you're really passionate in a certain area of study, go out and look up. We have Google, and you just look up your, I always kept looking up top nursing programs in the United States, and they give you a list, and then click on the links. Do your college visits. I personally didn't visit any colleges. I think I got into them before I visited them, so I knew I didn't want that attachment feeling and then that letdown feeling. So my advice is just do your research, schedule your college visits, talk to other people if you know people who attend the college to get that feel. Yeah, so do your research and look at the programs, not necessarily the name of the school, because some programs are really good, really good, and maybe the name isn't, as flashy as it comes to be, so.
Andrew, did you have anything?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think visiting the different campuses was really helpful for me, because as I said, I was debating between Syracuse University or LMU, and I had visited LMU and I'd seen how beautiful the campus was. I've sort of got the feel of how everyone was there, and they were really accepting, really welcoming, and everything like that. And so I think that really helps, because you sort of get, even a few hours in the life of that university.
Okay, so is there anything else you can think of that you know now that you wish you had known before you applied to college or went off to college? If you could tell your former self.
Apply for scholarships earlier. Yeah, because you don't want to have to deal with that stress during summer when you're trying to figure out, the rest of your college journey. So if you could start even now, it would be a perfect time to just sort of get that through. Even if you're a sophomore or a junior, if you get those scholarships early, it just helps you. So I would say just go ahead and be proactive. If you have some free time, go ahead, go sign up for some scholarship, because it's going to help you in the long run.
I would honestly say be proactive also applies to the applications themselves, because I know there were a couple of applications where I really waited until the last minute to start the college-specific essays, and hope that's not what, was the make or break decision in my application, but I do wish I had gotten a start on my college applications. So, if sophomore is probably a little early to start thinking about that, but, late junior year, over the summer before senior year, start thinking about getting to work on those.
Okay. Were any of you waitlisted? If so, did you write a follow-up letter or do anything in particular to up your chances of admittance?
I was waitlisted from Northwestern University, and they specifically told me not to send them anything, so just make sure you read the letters they send you.
Good point.
Yeah, I don't remember where I was waitlisted from, but I was waitlisted at a couple of schools. I just waited for maybe a good response. But no, I didn't do anything. I waited to see if I get in, but I think by the time I got a lot of acceptance letters or waitlist letters after I was in Arizona, so I put my kind of mindset towards Arizona State, and I think by the time I really got into those schools, I was like, it's easy coming, I'm done. I'm going to ASU, because I knew already, so.
Yeah, I can't help you. I early decisioned to one school and got in. And so, I mean, I had two in mind if I was waitlisted, but yeah, I was lucky.
So were any of you guys deferred, or did you get admitted in the second round?
Okay. How did you feel about getting denied from colleges? Do you have any advice or strategies that worked for you to make you realize that it wasn't the person?
Okay, so pro tip, when you're opening acceptance letters, don't do it right before a show. It's usually not a good idea. It could be great, but it could also be awful. So make sure you're like home, you're happy on your couch or something like that. Also, just know if you're denied, you're going to be accepted somewhere else. And as I said before, no matter where you go, you're going to be happy there. It's not the end of the world. If you're accepted everywhere, then it's just harder for you at the end to choose which college you want to go to. So actually, it makes it a little easier.
So one thing that helped me is I applied to one school that did rolling admission instead of just one date when they would let you know if you got in or not. So I found out in November that I had been accepted somewhere, and that was a great feeling. So if any schools that you're looking at do have a program like that, try to apply as soon as possible. So as you're waiting for the other decisions, you know that you have somewhere to go. The other thing I would say is just we've touched on this a little bit, but try not to get too attached to any one school. So what I tried to do was kind of envision what it would be like going to each college and try to, each college I was applying to, and try to get excited about each possibility so that I wouldn't be too disappointed if one didn't pan out.
Yeah, so I definitely did not get into a couple of schools, and how I looked at it is that the school probably was saying maybe you wouldn't do as well at this school. We want you to succeed, and this is the place that we see you succeeding, whether for some reason. So I just, honestly, I see it, yeah, it's upsetting for a day or two, but then you just move on. You're like, okay, well, there's so many other schools. You move on, and I like Jenny's advice. I applied to a school in the earliest. I think I got in October 1st, and I was like, I'm going to college. I did it. Let's go, even though I'm probably not even going to go here, because I applied to a lot of schools. So it's just a good feeling to get in that first acceptance letter. But don't take it personally if you don't get into a school. There's so many other schools, and in the end, once you are in college, no one cares where you didn't or didn't get in. It just matters that you're doing what you love. You're in college and you're pursuing, what you're going to do in life. So.
Couldn't agree on more.
So have any of you guys been able to get any internships or paid internships? And if so, how did you go about getting them?
I can start. I mean, I'm not doing an internship. It's more of a work study, they call it in school. Only the first years, or freshmen, can only work at D Hall, or it's a dining hall, and you just basically work there for the full year. But afterwards, I've heard that you can get scholarship. I mean, you can do internships with different varieties of things.
Yeah, so with nursing, what you do is you do these things called clinical rotations, where you rotate to all these different hospitals, whether I've been at the Mayo Clinic, I'm going to Phoenix Pediatrics Children's Hospital. So I was actually accepted into this program called the Dedicated Educated Unit for Pediatrics, where only like 10 students go into Phoenix Children's, and it's kind of like a job interview, so we don't necessarily have internships, but it's more setting us up for jobs when I graduate. So hopefully by October, who knows, maybe I'll be working at Phoenix Children's, and it's just a great way. It's every day is an interview, so that's the most internship I get. So you work with the nurses alongside, you take care of patients, we have competencies, so there's certain skills that we can do right now in the hospital to take care of our patients, and hopefully that will eventually lead into a job.
All right, what types of summer activities might be useful to prepare for college?
I mean, you can always study for the SAT. I mean, during your summer before you take it in senior year, but that's more preparing to get into college. But I'd say just enjoy your summers. Enjoy them with your friends and your family. Maybe visit your college. I mean, they give you summer reading, which is very, very rare. Do that summer reading.
I recommend that you try and build your resume, like try and do stuff in the community, or try and even get internships while you're here, and like kind of like develop yourself and find opportunities here in the community to help out, because it will help you in the long run when you apply to a school.
You can reach out during the summer to your new class, your upcoming class. For example, for me, there was an Instagram account for the class of 2023, and so I got to actually meet a lot of people online before I even went there. And I had this thing, there's like a room sync app, and so I could actually meet my roommate way ahead of time. We got to choose each other. So just like figuring out who's going to be there, finding friends early on, it's a nice thing to do.
One thing that might be good to do is, I know that BU has a program called FISOC, which is first year student outreach program. I didn't do it, but it's basically a lot of, I don't know if it's open to transfers, but a lot of first year students go and they are put in groups and they do like community service projects in Boston for a week, and they get to move in early, and a lot of people I know who did the program made friends that way, so you might want to look and see if the college you're going to has anything like that, because I kind of regret not doing that. It's a good way to get established before the school year starts.
So kind of piggybacking on that last question, what do you think a York student should know as they set off to college their first year?
You're always going to feel scared or nervous and excited for a new life, away from home especially. And for me, I was super nervous moving to LA. This is the first time, actually like being away from my family for a super long extended period of time. And after the first week, it already felt like home. So know that the nerves are going to come, but know that they don't last forever. You're going to find your place there. It's going to feel awesome. College is amazing. You have freedom. You have free time. You can sleep. So it's awesome.
Kind of a similar idea is, even if you don't feel like you found your place as early as a weekend, that is great. Oh my God, that's so lucky. I personally, I had trouble for like my first semester and a half of college, and I felt like, purely based on social media, I felt like, you know, all of my peers and stuff had gone on to college and already had friend groups and were already settled, and I felt like that wasn't happening to me at all, and I was 3,000 miles away from home in completely different weather with nobody else from my high school, and I did feel really like alone for the first 6-8 months of college or so. And that's something that might happen, but it doesn't mean it's always going to be like that. So just keep that in mind if you're going off to college and it doesn't pan out exactly as you expect at first. That if you just give it time and try to find things that interest you, and you'll probably find friends that way, you'll eventually settle in, even if it takes a little longer than you might initially think.
My advice is just be very open-minded. Try to be involved as much as possible, like with the social aspect, because I think it's really important to establish that social support system in college, and those at least 1 or 2 friends that you have in your phone. So what I did was I just went into college. You know, I didn't know anyone. It was the first day in the dorm, and I think there was a huge painting session in the main lobby area of the dorm. And you know, you don't have to go. You know, it's up to you. You don't have to. You can stay in your room and watch Netflix. But I said, you know, this is a way I'm going to meet all my friends. So I went out, and it was tiring. I think it was the first 2 weeks where they had all those welcome events. Just do it, because soon everyone's going to be kind of warped up in their own world on their computers, and you're going to just kind of wish you did that before, you know, school kind of takes over. So be open-minded, but don't spread yourself too thin where like your self-care gets in the way. So mental health is it's very important in college, so take care of yourself, but also try to be involved as much as possible in what you like to do, because it is there. You just have to make the effort to do it, and there's always, you know, social support groups or counseling if you ever need to go to that, so take advantage of those if you ever feel overwhelmed, because it's completely normal. And just remember that everyone is in the same boat. Usually no one knows anyone else, and just, you know, a simple hello, and as much as, you know, hard as that is in an elevator, just say hi, what's up, because who knows, that could be your best friend.
So thinking of the 10th and 11th graders in the room, is there any advice that you have for them on what they can be doing now that will help prepare them for college, just to be successful?
I would say, even if you don't know what you want to do yet, which perfectly understandable if you're, you know, sophomore, junior, or even a senior, just start kind of, it's very simple, but do the things you're interested in, and start to get more experience with them, and that'll, you know, eventually help you figure out what you might want to study, or where you might want to go. And on top of helping you figure out what you might want to do in life, it can give you good experience for when you are applying to colleges and stuff to put on your application. So it's pretty simple. I would say just do what you like and see where that takes you.
Just focus on your academics right now. If you're in 10th grade, you know, you still have 2 big years ahead of you. Just, you know, stay focused and start, you know, looking at colleges that you may be interested in. Maybe you find a club here that you really like, and you may want to pursue that in college. So just take advantage of everything that York provides you, because it's very crucial. It really helps you going into college. Just take it slow, 1 day at a time, and then once, you know, times get closer and closer, start studying for your SATs or the test that for ACT, and, you know, do your research, and hopefully you'll find somewhere that, you know, you really like.
Yeah, in college you've got a lot of time to yourself. There's no going home to your parents and doing homework there stuff. You do a class, you go back to your dorm, and you can have like the rest of the day to yourself type of thing. So I recommend right now to try and figure out things that you want to do, or like interests that you have, because once you go to college, they offer a bunch of clubs and whatnot, and you just want to, you'll have lots of time in college if you choose not to do a club or anything. So just figure out what you're interested in now.
And so our last question before we open it up for questions from everybody else, what advice do you guys have on managing your parent and family expectations about college?
So I come from a family where like nearly all the guys in my family are either engineers or architects. So when I said I want to be a psych major with a theater double major, they all went like, oh. Just know that what you want to do is what you want to do. I mean, you don't want to go to college just to, be completely stressed out and not like what you're doing. College is supposed to be a time where you enjoy yourself and find out who you are. So don't be afraid to, do what you want to do. And you can change it too. In college, you can change up your majors. If you go in with one idea or no idea at all, you can absolutely change it as you continue to, grow as a person.
Just do what makes you happy. Honestly, happiness is so important. You're technically studying for a career that you may be pursuing the rest of your life. So if you're really passionate about something, go for it. I think that's key. And like Andrew said, if you want to change it, I have so many friends who have dropped out of the nursing program because they didn't like it or they wanted to be, some of them went from nursing to engineering because it didn't click. So if you have that gut feeling, there's probably a reason. So it's a time to test the waters and just do whatever makes you happy and go for it.
All right, now let's open it up to the students. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. We'll come on in. Yes.
So as you guys know, the relationship with students and teachers here is like really close. And I know Marissa already explained that with her. It's a little bit harder. But like, how hard is it for you guys? Is it easy to talk to a teacher? Is it easy to like get up with them?
So I'd say for me, it really varies based on the class. So especially freshman, sophomore year, I took a lot of lectures where it was like 400 students. And those professors I didn't really know at all. But I have gotten the chance to take a lot of classes that are 20 students or under. And in those, it's usually pretty easy to go to office hours and meet with your professors and get to know them. So even though on the whole, it's probably harder to get to know your professors, nothing like getting to know your teachers at York, I would still have probably 5 to 10 professors that I'd say I have relatively close relationships with and I can talk to when I see them on campus, and I'm looking at potentially going to grad school after undergrad, so I'm getting advice from them and already starting to show them my work and look at getting recommendations. So it depends on the class, but it's not always really hard to get to know your professors. But yeah, you do have to make a little more effort, probably.
So for me, I think in my first prerequisite class I had about 300 kids. So knowing me, I was just in the front, as per usual, like no one else existed in the back. And I always go, it's kind of like what I do after every class, first day of class. I go up to the teachers, I introduce myself, I ask them when their office hours are, and I usually go to them, even if I don't even need help, because they're there to help you and just build that relationship. I would say a way I gain relationships is joining clubs, or I even did a huge study abroad program in Peru. And when I was there, there were 2 nursing, because now my teachers they're nurses, so it's really helpful to just talk to them and gain insight about their experience in the nursing field. And one of the faculty I've become really close with, and now she's one of my directors on this thesis I'm doing at the end of my senior year. So I would say it's not hard, it's just you have to really put in the effort to go to their specific office hour times and schedule them, and yeah.
Be persistent. Be persistent, that's for sure. I go to a smaller schools, which is like 2,000 people, I think. So it's a lot easier to get in touch with a teacher. But definitely, you want to hit them up with emails and talk to them after class. Make sure what their times are, and always seek help when you don't know the answer.
There was a question over here.
Is it really hard to transfer from a college to another college within a university?
So I don't necessarily have experience with that, but I have friends who have transferred, and they actually have a whole community of students who are transfers, and they really try to, I think there's different programs that they have, and yeah, gatherings with those transfer students, so they have their own community, so they really try to immerse you into the environment.
And are you asking about, you're in one college, you want to transfer from one department to another department,
Oh,
or leave that college for another university?
Staying inside the same university, but
And switching departments?
Yeah.
I don't have experience with that, but I think what I've heard at BU, and I'm sure it applies elsewhere, is it largely depends on what college you're in and what college you want to transfer into. So I know at BU, like, it's pretty hard to transfer into, I think, the College of Engineering and the College of Fine Arts, but it'll be easier to transfer into the College of Arts and Sciences, because that's just kind of the general college that has a lot of the majors. So it probably depends on what you're transferring between.
And I think it just, yeah, like it depends on the prereqs that you're taking. So if you're going from, if I were to transfer right now into the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, I would probably have to restart my entire like college curriculum, because none of the classes I've taken, maybe I've had one English class under my belt in college because my major doesn't necessarily require it. So that could be challenging, but it just means that you probably have to extend a semester or two to get the prerequisites that are required.
I know we've heard a little bit about this already, but what size colleges do you go to, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of a large college versus a small college, et cetera?
So BU's undergraduate student population, I think, is around 16,000, which is, pretty big compared to York. I think it's actually pretty, like, medium-sized, like UC Berkeley's like 30,000 or something. And yeah, there are definitely pros and cons. It's, like I said, I was the only York student at BU when I started there, so I didn't know anybody, and it was a little intimidating. But as much as I loved York, it can be kind of nice to go somewhere where not everybody knows you and you feel like you have a little more space that way, almost. So I've liked going to a fairly big school, and I'm in the College of Communication, which I think is about, I have no idea how big it is, but it's smaller, so that gives you a little community within the larger school to find friends. And I think you can find that at a lot of schools. The different colleges or departments or even clubs will help you find a smaller community within that large school.
Toby?
Yeah, how was the adjustment to campus life, like living in dorms and having a roommate and that sort of thing? Like, did it take very long, or what was your experience?
I loved it, because as I said, I talked to my roommate ahead of time, and so we found out more about each other, and it turns out we're like basically the same person. So for me personally, I know a lot of other people have bad roommate experiences, but for me personally, I have really good, friendship with my roommate, and I'm friends with his friends, he's friends with my friends, and I'd say living in the dorm has its pros and cons. Pros is you have your own space to, everything's there. It's, you're responsible for, almost your entire life, which is sort of fun. It can also be scary. I'd say living in the dorms, like for me, all the freshman dorms are all together. So you're around everyone that's in your class, basically. You're everyone in your class, everyone who's going through the same experience as you. So I found it pretty easy to adjust. I'm not sure if that was different for other people.
Yeah, so with Arizona State, there's different campuses. I'm on the downtown Phoenix campus, which is much smaller. So going back to ASU has about 103,000 kids. It's ginormous. But downtown Phoenix, which is one of the campuses with mostly the medical sciences, it has about, maybe 4,000. It's much smaller. And then when you're in Barrett, the Honors College, downtown Phoenix, it's much smaller. So maybe I would say 100 kids. So in the dorms, I was on the Barrett floor. So just honors kids with all different majors. I wanted to be not just nursing majors, because I knew eventually it would just be me and nursing majors 24/7. So my roommate was a sports journalism major. It was really fun. We're great friends. We weren't always, it wasn't always, we weren't glued together by the hip 24/7, but we were still, as long as they're respectful and they don't, steal your food or your stuff. I'm not kidding. It's a great deal. You don't have to be best friends. Just remember that going into college, you don't have to be best friends with your roommate. cordial, and it's great. We still keep in great contact. I lived in the dorms for 2 years, and now I'm living in my own apartment by myself actually, and it's great because I'm kind of in and out a lot, and I kind of just like my own space and being that independent. So yeah, I recommend living in the dorms. I think it's an awesome experience to look back at, and it's really, you always have that first day with your college roommate, and I think everyone remembers it if you've had it, so I would recommend it.
Yeah, so in terms of adjusting to campus life, I've been kind of all over the place in my 3 years at BU. So I started out, I didn't start out in a big freshman dorm. I was actually in specialty housing, which I didn't apply for, so that was a big surprise. But I was basically in a brownstone house with about, it was 2 brownstones right next to each other, and it was like 30 students, freshmen through seniors. So it was kind of nice because instead of being thrown into this situation where I'm living with like thousands of other freshmen, it was a smaller group. But on the other hand, it wasn't as social. Like I didn't get to know as many people as my friends who lived in the bigger dorms. But yeah, so that was kind of a nice transition from living at home to going to college, kind of having this smaller dorm at first. And then I ended up in one of the bigger dorms my sophomore year, so that's when I got the taste of, dorm life with the large industrial bathroom and 40 other people on your floor, that fun stuff. And I'm also in an apartment this year with 3 of my friends. So campus life can actually be like a pretty broad term, I feel like, but I think the adjustment it can be a little scary, but as long as, like Melissa was saying earlier, as long as you're open to it, it can go pretty easily.
I think I'm just going to add to it because I said like all the things that I really liked about dorm life. There are a lot of things that are scary, like bathrooms are terrifying. You share 6 showers, 6 toilets with everyone on your floor. Remember shower shoes. But for me, I feel like this might just be my dorm building because I know other dorms, they're friends with everyone on every floor. For me, no one on my floor really talks to each other. It's like me and my roommate know each other and we're pretty good friends, and then we know the people across the hall from us, but everyone else, I have no idea who they are. So as Alyssa was saying, you can just go up and say hi to someone in the elevator, start making friends, because it's always really hard to be the first person to say hi, I'm Andrew, and everything like that, but once you push past that, that's how you start making a lot of friends, especially underfloor.
And if you don't like your room or your roommate, you can always change. I guarantee, I know somebody, this guy, he always comes over, and he's a good friend of my social group. I have a bunch of friends on my floor, and this one guy, he lives off in another dorm, and he always comes over, or he used to. He'd always come over and spend the whole day with us, and we'd tell him, you gotta, and he didn't like his roommates. He was in a forced triple, and he didn't like his roommates, and he always complained, saying, I wanna get out. And we'd be like, okay, you can go talk to the school about this, and he's like, no. He'd stay with us all hours, but yeah, he still hasn't changed. But yeah, he's still my friend, so yeah. But I also recommend, if your college that you choose offers it, if they offer a pre-orientation, do it, because you will, the advantage of you going there first and meeting new people and just experiencing it with a bunch of new people is great to make friends, and also to be the first person to claim the bed when you get into your room.
All right, well, let's thank the panel for coming.